Let me ask you something. How many times have you set a goal and you truly meant it? You felt motivated, you felt ready, you felt like this time things were going to be different. Maybe it was a new workout routine, a study plan, waking up early, saving money, eating healthier, changing your habits. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you stayed consistent. But then something happened. Life got busy. Your motivation faded. You missed one day, then another. And before you even realized it, the goal was gone, quietly, like it never existed. And what's the first thing we do? We blame ourselves. We say, why can't I stick to anything? What's wrong with me? Why do other people have discipline and I don't? But I want you to hear this clearly. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. And it's definitely not because you're incapable. The problem is not you. The problem is the system you've been using. You were taught to chase goals using motivation. But motivation is temporary. It fades. It rises and falls. It can't carry you long term. So, of course, the goal didn't last. Of course, the routine collapsed. You were building your life on something unstable. But here's the good news. Once you understand how goals actually stick, everything changes. Because success is not about forcing yourself. It's about setting up your habits, identity, and environment so consistency becomes natural, not stressful. And that is what this video is about. By the end of our time together today, you're going to understand why you keep failing your goals, how to set goals that work in real life, how to build consistency effortlessly without relying on motivation. No pressure, no guilt, no burnout, just a new way of approaching growth, one that finally supports you instead of exhausting you. Take a breath. Let's begin. The real reason goals fail. So let's talk about why goals fail, not in theory, but in real life. Because if you're like most people, your goals usually begin in the same place, inspiration. Maybe you watched a video, maybe you read a quote, maybe you had a moment where everything felt clear. And in that moment, you said to yourself, this time, I'm really going to change. You felt motivated, you felt energized, you felt ready. And in the beginning, motivation carries you. You wake up early for a few days, you eat clean for a week, you show up to the gym, you stay focused, you feel good. But then life happens. You get tired, work gets busy, your mood shifts, stress shows up, something unexpected comes along, and that motivation, that fire you started with, begins to fade. Not because you're weak, not because the goal doesn't matter, but because motivation was never meant to last. The motivation curve. Motivation doesn't stay high forever. It looks like a curve. It starts strong, then it dips, and eventually it disappears. That dip is where most goals die. Not because you stopped caring, but because your system depended on motivation to keep going. And when motivation fades, what takes over? Your old habits, the habits your brain already knows, the routines that are familiar, the behaviors that are easy. And your brain always returns to what is easy, not what is meaningful. So the cycle repeats. Start strong, fade, give up, feel guilty. And you tell yourself the same story every time. I guess I just don't have discipline. But that's not true. The real reason goals fail because they are built on emotion, not structure. They are built on how we feel on day one, not how we will realistically feel on day 30. We rely on the excitement of starting fresh, the hype of a new year, the promise of this time will be different. But willpower is temporary. Emotion is temporary. Inspiration is temporary. And when the emotion fades, the structure must remain. But most goals don't have structure. They're just wishes wrapped in determination. And here's the breakthrough. You don't need more motivation. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to force discipline. What you need is a system that works when you're tired, a system that works when you're stressed, a system that works when motivation is gone. In the next section, we're going to talk about exactly that. We're going to shift from goals that are based on outcomes to goals that are built into your identity. Because when your identity changes, your habits follow naturally. Let's move forward. Identity versus outcome goals. Now that we understand why goals fail, we need to talk about the kind of goals we set, because not all goals are created equal. There are two types of goals we must understand: outcome goals and identity goals. Most of us set outcome goals. These are goals like, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to read 50 books this year. I want to wake up at 5 a.m. I want to make more money. They are focused on the result, the final outcome. And the problem with outcome goals is this: they create pressure. Every day becomes a test. Am I closer yet? Why isn't it happening faster? I'm not seeing progress. Maybe I should stop. And when progress is slow, and it usually is, we lose motivation, we feel discouraged, and we quit. Outcome goals look powerful, but they are fragile. Identity goals are different. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, you focus on who you want to be. For example, instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, you say, I am someone who takes care of my body. Instead of, I want to read more, you say, I am a person who learns every day. Instead of, I want to make more money, you say, I am someone who creates value. See the difference? One is about pressure, the other is about identity. Why identity goals work? Because your brain always acts in alignment with who you believe you are. If you believe I'm lazy, I'm inconsistent, I never finish anything, your actions will match that belief. But when you shift your identity, your habits change automatically. You don't need to force discipline. You don't need to push yourself. You don't need to try harder. The habit becomes natural because it's simply what someone like you does. Let this sink in. You don't achieve goals. You grow into them. The goal is not something far away from you. It is something you grow toward by becoming the kind of person who lives that way every day. Because when your identity changes, your behavior changes. And when your behavior changes, your life changes. This is the turning point. In the next section, we're going to take this identity shift and see how it works inside the brain, specifically how habits are formed, how they stick, and how to make new behaviors feel natural instead of forced. This part is the key to consistency. Let's continue. The habit loop, why the brain resists change. So now we understand the power of identity. But you might be wondering, if I know what I want and I understand who I want to become, why is change still so hard? The answer is simple but incredibly important. The brain prefers what is familiar, not what is better, not what is healthier, not what is wiser, just what is familiar. Your brain is designed to save energy, so it repeats whatever it already knows, and that's where habits come in. The habit loop. Every habit you have, good or bad, follows the same pattern. Cue, action, reward. 1. Cue. Something triggers the habit. Time of day, place, emotion, stress, boredom. 2. Action. The behavior itself. Scrolling, eating, working, exercising, reacting. 3. Reward. The feeling your brain gets afterward. Pleasant, comfortable, relieved, stimulated. And here's the key. Habits stick because of the reward. Even unhealthy habits give your brain something it likes. Scrolling gives dopamine. Junk food gives comfort. Procrastination gives relief. Avoidance gives temporary peace. So your brain says, that worked, let's do it again. Not because it's good for you, but because it's easy and familiar. So how do we change habits? Not through force, not through willpower, not through guilt or pressure. We change habits by changing the loop gently. Here's the formula. 1. Keep the cue the same. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. Use your existing routines. Same time, same environment, same trigger. 2. Make the actions small. Not big, not impressive, not dramatic. Small, because small actions are easy to repeat. And repetition is what builds identity. 3. Ensure the reward is immediate. Your brain needs to feel something good right away. This is how the habit becomes enjoyable. Let's look at a simple example. If your goal is to exercise, don't say, I'm going to work out for 1 hour every day. That's too big, too heavy, too dependent on motivation. Instead, say, I will walk for 10 minutes every day. Same cue, morning or evening. Small action, just a walk. Immediate reward, you feel lighter, clearer, more alive. And here's the magic. Once you start walking every day, 10 minutes can naturally grow into 20, 20 into 30. Walking into jogging, movement into fitness, consistency for intensity later. This is how change really happens. It's not through force, but through gentle repetition, not through pressure, but through identity, not through massive change, but through small steps that compound. This is how the brain learns. This is how habits stick. This is how transformation becomes real. The 2-minute rule to build real consistency. So now we understand how habits work. We know the brain sticks to what feels familiar, and we know that small, repeatable behaviors are the foundation of lasting change. But the question becomes, how do we actually start? How do we make new habits feel natural, not forced? The answer is something surprisingly simple: the 2-minute rule. This rule says if a habit takes less than 2 minutes to do, your brain will accept it. Why? Because your brain does not resist easy things. It only resists things that feel heavy, overwhelming, or demanding. So instead of trying to build habits that impress other people, you build habits that your brain cannot refuse. Let's make this real. If your goal is to read more, don't say, I will read for 1 hour every night. Say, I will read 1 page a day. If your goal is to meditate, don't say, I'll meditate for 20 minutes every morning. Say, I will sit and breathe for 2 minutes. If your goal is to write more, don't say, I need to write a chapter every day. Say, I will write 3 sentences. If your goal is fitness, don't say, I'm going to work out for an hour. Say, I will do 5 push-ups or I will walk for 5 minutes, because the goal is not to be great on day one. The goal is to show up on day one and on day two and on day three. Consistency, intensity. Intensity makes you impressive for a moment. Consistency makes you unstoppable over time. Why the 2-minute rule works: when you do something small consistently, it removes pressure, it removes resistance, it builds identity. Your mind begins to believe, this is who I am now. And once your identity shifts, the habit grows automatically. 1 page often becomes 5. 2 minutes often becomes 10. 3 sentences often become a full page. 5 push-ups often turn into a full workout. But it grows naturally, not through force. This is how change becomes effortless. Let this settle in. It's better to do a little every day than everything someday. Someday never comes, but today is always here. And small actions done today are more powerful than grand intentions postponed. Master the small step, and the big steps will take care of themselves. In the next section, we're going to strengthen this even further by designing your environment so your habits become easier to follow and harder to break. This is where consistency becomes automatic: accountability and environment design. So now we know how to start small, how to make habits easy, and how to build consistency that lasts. But there's still one more piece we need to talk about, and this one changes everything. Because even with the best habits, even with clarity, even with identity shift, there will still be days where you don't feel like doing it. Days when you're tired, days when you're stressed, days when your mind tries to talk you out of it. And this is where most people fall back into old patterns. Why? Because they rely on willpower. But here's the truth: willpower is unreliable. It's emotional. It comes and goes. It depends on your mood, your energy, your stress. You cannot build your life on something that's unstable. But there is something more reliable, something stronger: your environment. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your environment. So instead of trying to force discipline, we design our environment to make the habit easy. Let's make this practical. If you want to exercise in the morning, don't rely on motivation. Place your running shoes in front of your bed, so when you wake up, the first thing you see is a reminder of who you chose to be. If you want to journal or reflect, put your journal on your pillow, so you can't go to sleep without seeing it. It becomes natural, not forced. If you want to reduce distraction, remove unnecessary apps from your home screen. Not delete, just move them away. Create friction between you and the distraction. Small environment changes create big behavior changes. And there's one more layer: accountability. We were never meant to grow alone. Join a group, tell a friend, pair up with someone who shares your goal, or simply share your progress publicly. Accountability doesn't pressure you, it supports you. It reminds you, you don't have to do this by yourself. This is where consistency becomes automatic. Not because the habit is perfect, not because you're forcing yourself, but because your environment makes the habit easy and your identity makes it natural. You're no longer pushing your life uphill, you're creating momentum. And momentum is how change becomes permanent. In the final section, we're going to bring everything together with a reflection that stays with you long after this video ends. Take a slow breath with me. Just one. In and out. Because what we've talked about today is bigger than goals. It's bigger than habits. It's about you and the way you grow. You don't fail because you're weak. You don't fail because you're lazy. You don't fail because you don't have discipline. You fail because the system you were using was never designed to support you. You were relying on motivation, something that rises and falls like a wave. But now, you know better. Now you understand how to shift your identity so your actions feel natural. Build small habits so consistency becomes effortless. Design your environment so your habits are supported every day. Create momentum that lasts, not just moments of inspiration. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from understanding. And that changes everything. Because the truth is, you are already capable. Now you are structured. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be impressive. You just need to begin gently today. Your turn. Let's make this real. I want to ask you one question, and I'd love for you to answer it in the comments. What is one small habit you will start today? Something that takes less than 2 minutes, maybe. One page, 2 minutes of breathing, 5 push-ups, writing 3 sentences, a short walk. Whatever it is, write it below. And I'll reply to your comment to help you shape it, support it, and make it something that truly sticks. You are not doing this alone. We are building this together. Thank you for being here. I'm proud of you for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video.